Good morning, children. Welcome to our English class. For the past few days, we had been learning a new chapter. So let's continue the chapter, but before that, let's take a rewind. What is the title of the story that we're learning? It is The Story of My Life. Whose autobiography is The Story of My Life? It is Helen Keller's autobiography. Who named Helen Keller? It was Helen's father who named her. What was the word that Helen remembered for a long time? It was the word water. When did Helen start walking? Helen started walking by the age of 1. So we know that we are learning about Helen Keller and her life of how the incident struck her. Now, as I read, please look into your textbooks. I fancy I still have confused memories of that illness. I especially remember the tenderness with which my mother tried to soothe me in my waking hours. I also remember the pain and confusion with which I woke up after disturbed sleep. I turned my eyes away from the once loud light, but except for these fleeting memories, it all seems very unreal, like a nightmare. Gradually, I got used to the silence and darkness that surrounded me. I forgot completely that it had all been very different. It was my teacher who changed everything and set my spirit free. But the first 19 months of my life had been different. I had caught glimpses of broad green fields, a luminous sky, and trees and flowers. The darkness that followed could not wholly blot them out. Hope you all listened to the story well. What does Helen especially remember? Helen especially remembers the tenderness with which her mother soothed her. What did Helen turn her eyes away from? What did Helen turn her eyes away from? Helen turned her eyes away from the light. What did Helen get used to? Helen got used to the silence and darkness that surrounded her. Who helped Helen to become happy? It was Helen's teacher who helped her become happy. What all sights did Helen get glimpses of? Helen had got glimpses of broad green fields, luminous sky, and trees and flowers. Now, I want you all to read the chapter in silence and after that, discuss with your friends the words that you found interesting and the words that you found difficult, along with the theme of the story. So, we had come across the word glimpse. Now, look at the image and try to understand what kind of a view will the girl get through that hole. Yes, a very quick and not complete view. So that is what glimpse means. And Helen had got glimpse of the world before she lost her sight. Now look at the candle. And when does a candle shine? When do we usually use a candle? Do we use it when there is light? Okay, so luminous means something that shines in the dark. Here the candle shines in the dark. Blot. Look at the image and what do you observe in the picture? Yes, a blot is a spot of something, especially made with ink on paper. Now, why were the first 19 months of Helen Keller's life different? The first 19 months were different because she had sight. How did Helen feel after the incident? After the incident, Helen had pain and confusion. Frame a sentence with glimpses. I had glimpses of the sky through the window. Frame a sentence with luminous. The Christmas star was luminous. Frame a sentence with blot. She answered the phone with a blot. Now it's activity time. Pick out sentences that denote Helen's experience after losing sight. Now let's look at something new. Can you see the cartoon images that's given there? What are they saying? Give me a break. Stop it. Now, one of you please stand up and read the examples given. She is a clever, bright lady. He has a big, red, round car. Now, can you see something common in both the sentences at the end of the sentences? Yes, very good. Now look at the next two sentences. Please close the door. India is a country. Here too, you can see the same thing that's common in the previous two sentences. Okay, so what we were looking at was a full stop. A full stop marks the end of a declarative sentence. A declarative sentence is a statement. So here we saw that please close the door or India is a country. It's a sentence and there's a end. We are putting an end to that sentence which is giving a complete meaning. So a comma or a full stop is used at the end of a declarative sentence. And where do we use commas? Commas are used to separate items in a list. Here we saw that she is clever and a bright lady. So two things to separate two things in an item. Now it's discourse time. Prepare a news report on a teacher who has won the Best Teacher Award. And you should also use the newly learned vocabulary, and comma and full stop must be used appropriately in the work. So thank you children. For the next class, you have to come watching the movie Miracle Worker, which is based on Helen Keller's life, and prepare a movie review about the movie Miracle Worker. Thank you.